Hey, Raindrops. On today's episode, Reality with the King, let me tell y'all something. You, Raindrops, been requesting her since I started this podcast, okay? And I'm so happy that she has agreed to do it. Shout out to her bestie, Shaw Santiago, my boo, for making this happen. But give it up. She is even prettier in person. Tammy Rivera!
Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy you're here.
I'm excited to be here. Listen, I put on my little winter shorts for you and everything.
You do know that you and this body are the poster that the girls take to their surgeons.
I didn't know that.
To get the enhancements. You don't know that?
Because I be so up and down in my weight. I'm like, you know, which one they want, the thick Tammy or the skinny Tammy?
Both.
Both of them.
You look good, baby.
Thank you.
So, okay, is this thick Tammy or slim? What are we today?
This is slim thick Tammy. So I'm down like right now I'm like 152. I was trying to get to 145, but my daughter's 145, so people say that was too much. So I'm at 152. So I'm gonna stay here.
You are a stallion.
Thank you.
And it's all natural.
Yes, absolutely. Except for my titties, of course.
Well, you know, that's okay, baby. But it's all about the hip to
the
ass
hips and the butt is all, and the thighs is like, ugh. And people were like, oh, she got, and I'm like, y'all, you can ask anybody like who knows me, like when my butt is too big, when I gain weight, my butt, I gain it at the bottom of my half of my body. And I be livid. I hate a big old butt and big ass thighs. I don't want it. Y'all can have it. But that's just how I'm built. When I gain weight, it just goes there, like straight down.
And this face is everything. You are a beautiful woman.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You really are. And the thing about you that I always loved about you, as beautiful as you are like the girl next door.
Period. Because I am.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you never came across like, I'm that bitch. Although you have confidence.
Right,
But you never came across like you were better than anyone. And I wanted to commend you for that because I've been watching you for years. And you always had this sweet spirit. You know, you don't play no games.
No, because I'm from Baltimore. But yeah, I come from very humble beginnings. So it's like, you can't, when you come from very humble beginnings, it's like, it's, for me personally, I can't act that way.
Yeah.
Because it's given, bitch, you came from lose food stamps, keep it cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me personally, I don't want to ever be too out of touch from, you know, or unrelatable because I had a rough upbringing, but I love it, you know?
Let's get into that because, you know, listen, you are a very private person, which is why I'm so grateful that you said yes to this conversation. But talk to me about who was Tammy growing up in Baltimore and what that was like for you.
Okay, so my family's from Norfolk, Virginia. I was born in California. My dad is from LA. He was incarcerated when I was 1. And my mom moved back to Virginia, but my mom ended up getting on drugs. So she moved to, which is crazy, she moved to Baltimore because everybody, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 86, I'm 39. So, you know, back then that was era. And all her friends was getting high, you know, and so she moved to Baltimore. I don't know why the fuck she would move to Baltimore to stop getting high because that's heroin capital. But she moved to Baltimore to try to like break away from her friend group to try to do better. And of course her addiction continued there. But my mom always stayed tight in faith. So it was like, even though like my mom was the type that even though she would get high, she would come in the room high and be like, can we pray and ask God that he take this addiction away from me? So I always had a strong respect for my mom because she always kept it 100 with us. But you know, growing up, I feel like in Baltimore, everybody's mama got high. So if you was talking like, oh, your mama get like, my mom get high too, it's like normal. Even though it's not normal. Like I talk to friends in Atlanta and they be like, I'm like, yeah, my mom's get high. They be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like people from Baltimore be like, girl, mine's too.
So it was a thing back then.
Yeah, because you know, back then in the 80s, when that's introduced, so it's just like us when we were younger, trying to or try, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was way more addictive. So they didn't know. They were just giving, they used to smoking weed, and it's like, well, try this. And it's like, the next thing you know, you have a whole a crack epidemic of, you know, crack babies. So, but that's so we grew up, you know, we had our struggles, we had our ups, we had our downs, but my family, even when we were in Virginia, was from the projects in Virginia. I grew up in West Baltimore. I moved to Baltimore, I think, when I was like 6 or 7. So I claim Baltimore because that's the streets that I know. But yeah, it was rough. Like, I watched my uncle get in front of me, like when I was on my 12th birthday in broad daylight. Like, it was a lot. I had a lot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, see how you react like, oh my
Yeah,
God.
but I know, but for you back then it was, which is I understand what you're saying too.
Yeah.
It's obviously still sad because that
Yeah,
was
it's
the
not
norm.
normal,
It
though.
wasn't.
Yeah, and see, for me, I think I have so many, like I have best friends from 3rd grade still to this day. All my best friends and friends are we 20 years in almost, 15 or 20 years in, and for us, like I had someone talk to me. Well, I think I did marriage boot camp actually, and we were they were talking. I was talking to one of the counselors, and I'm like, it's just life, and they're like, no, baby. That is not life. That's not normal. But for me, I'm giving like, shit happens. And they're like, no, things like that don't happen.
Yeah.
So it took me a long time as an adult, as you grow, to realize like, okay, yeah, bitch, that's not normal.
Yeah. And did your mom ever became, sober?
Oh, absolutely.
And how old were you when she became fully sober?
So we were living in West Baltimore. We live off of, I think it was on Calhoun. I can't remember. It was like so Baltimore, you have like blocks. And you might be on one block and it might be full of drug dealers and like jumping. The block would be jumping. And then you can turn the corner to another block and it's like quiet. It's just older people and kids. It's like, so we were on this one block that was like, I'm talking about it was real bad with drugs. And my mom was like, listen, I got to get my kids. Even though my mom would get high, but she was more, I always say she was a functional smoker because in Baltimore, like I have a lot of friends who moms were completely strung out. Like a lot of their moms passed away from AIDS and things of that sort. They were shooting up. And my mom, she still respect her kids. So she still like, my mom would come in the room and she would probably be high and she would like, and I would get irritated because I know when she was be high.
Yeah.
And she'll say like, here, you want something from the store? And I'm like, no, I don't want anything. And she'll be like, well, just take it before I smoke it up. Or she'll make sure she like paid the bills before she did her extracurricular things. So one day, I think I was like 13, she was like, I asked God to give us this house around the corner. It's a better area. And if he give me this house for us, I would never touch it again. And I was like, okay, Mom. Like, well, you can lie to us, but you can't lie to God. And she was like, yeah, I know. And we got the house, and she cold turkey stopped. She cold turkey stopped getting high. I think her brother got killed first. That's the one who got killed in front of me.
Yeah.
And then my brother got killed, which is her baby boy. And she told me, she was like, if the death of my child or my brother can't make me go back, ain't nothing in this world can make me go back. And she was sober ever since. And that was when I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are things now?
She on my damn nerves, but she's still my mom. Like everybody else, my mom.
Yeah.
But she always take accountability for it. Like she's not ashamed of it. Like she'll minister if someone tells her, she'll be like, yeah, I kicked it, or this is what I've been through, and this is what it is. She never like, she's not ashamed of it. So that's why I'm openly free to talk about it, because one thing, she's a Virgo, so she don't take accountability for a goddamn thing, but she'll take accountability for that.
Go ahead, Mama, that's good though.
Yeah.
That's good. Did you know growing up as a little girl that you wanted to be in the entertainment business? Did you have other goals and aspirations? Or did you know, like, I want to sing, I want to be on TV?
I always wanted to be a singer. Like, I wanted to sing and I wanted to be a fashion designer. Like, literally, there was no, like, I used to be in high school. Oh my God, I was terrible in high school, but I was a fashion girly. I was very popular. I'm talking about I was wearing heels to school, like, throughout middle school and high school, like even elementary, I was wearing heels, 4-inch heels, literally. You ask anybody who went to school with me, middle school, elementary school, or high school, they'll tell you, like, this girl, I was in elementary school, they used to call me Spice Girl, because I used to wear my hair real curly, and I would have on some thick heels with, like, a little knee boot.
Mm-hmm.
But I always, even my teachers were like, what are you going to do with yourself? And I'm like, I'm going to be a singer and I'm going to be a designer. And they were like, I mean, what did your fallback plan? I'm like, I don't have one. That's the plan.
Period.
But I never thought about, like, reality TV. That was never a thing. Like, back then, who the hell, no one thought about, we didn't have reality TV. I think we probably just started getting the Real World.
Yeah.
But we didn't really, we watched a little bit of it, but, in the Black culture, that wasn't really our thing. I think when we really started tuning into reality TV, I was already a young adult when I think Flavor of Love and shit came
Yeah.
out. But yeah, so I never saw reality TV in my future at all. I never wanted to do reality TV. Like, you know that.
Oh, I know, girl. We'll get to that too. Tammy turned us down a couple of times, child. Go ahead, boo.
But yeah, but I always said that I was gonna be a singer and I was gonna be a designer. I got pregnant by my high school sweetheart when I was like I call him sperm donor. That's Charlie's biological father. But he was my high school sweetheart. He took my virginity. I got pregnant. I got trapped. Girls get trapped too.
I've heard.
Yes.
How old were you?
I got pregnant when I was 19. I had
Okay.
her when I was 20, I think. Or 18 and had her at 19. It was a long time ago, child, but she's 20 now, so y'all can do the math. But yeah, so so I thought my life was over then. I'm like, oh, I had a baby, like, you know, I was struggling, I was catching the bus pregnant, I worked at Home Depot, I worked at Walmart, I worked at BJ, I worked at any damn job you name, I had it. But I just was like, damn, you know, like what's left now? But then I was with someone who was verbally abusive, like literally, oh, you got a kid, nobody gonna want you with a kid, and I mean, you can sing, but it's other people that can sing better. I mean, oh, you cute, but like, won't you just go to school to be a nurse or something? Like, you know, like, and those things play on you until I realized, oh, he's just a hater because he has no talent. And as I got older and I started to realize, like once I had my daughter, I'm like, you know, no more abuse is gonna go down, not for my daughter. And then after that, you know, I realized, okay, I can't, this is not what I want. I'm out of here. And I ain't never looked back, child.
You met him in did y'all go to high school together?
I met him in middle school, the end of 8th grade year to 9th grade year, but he was even controlling then and I never knew it. Like, I was supposed to go to my zoned high school and he like, and see, back then I thought it was cute, but he was like, you need to go to school with me because I don't want you to talk to somebody there. So I literally convinced my mom to use someone's address so I can go to that school. I'm like, it's a better school and da-da-da-da. But it was a control mechanism of like him trying to control me. But as a kid, you don't see that, you know? I'm like, damn, I was being abused when I was in 9th grade. Didn't even know it.
When did the physical abuse start?
I say 10th grade year, probably like around 10th or 11th grade. I was in summer school and I wasn't answering my phone and I fell asleep on the couch or something and he came in and he knocked on the door, my mom was at work and he put me in my face like because I think he went through my phone or so I was talking to somebody, I can't even remember, but I do know it was like summer school. It was during the summer and I was in summer school, yeah, and I went to school with a little but I thought that was like love. You couldn't tell me that was like, no, I wore glasses and I was like kind of rocking that proudly like a damn fool.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was a form of love. Like, oh, he loves me enough to like, he cares. Like, you know, like it sounds crazy, but even now looking back, I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
is it because you saw that growing up with other women?
I saw my mom one time and I don't even think if I ever told my mom this, but I was really pissed at my mom because I remember she was arguing with her boyfriend at the time, and he her. And when my mom's always been a strong, like, catapult in my life. So I'm like, when he slapped her, I was like, yeah, we about to fuck him up. And she didn't do anything. And I was so mad at her, like, because I'm ready to fight. Like, you just hit my, but she didn't do anything. So that kind of like, I was really, that's one thing I do. I never seen my mom ever be weak or, you know, so even when she was getting high, she still never was a weak woman.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, because it's hard to balance an addiction and still take care of your household. And then my friends outside never knew that my mom was getting high. Like, because she would get someone else to go score for her because she knew that the boys on the corner or the kids, they're around my age group. So she like, I'm not about to go embarrass my children. So you get what I'm saying? So she even concealed that in a way. So when that happened, I was like, you know, and I don't know if that has anything to do with me thinking that was a, you get what I'm saying? But it could have, I don't know, you know, who knows?
And when you got your first hit, it just became like a thing that he would do?
Yeah, it was like a control thing. Like, you know, one day it went from that to him nose. It went from that to like, just natural. And I would fight back because I'm feisty, so I'm gonna fight back. But you can't be no man. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, it just went through like a lot of like it just continually like went on, and it becomes repertoire. Like it wasn't. I ain't never been a weak female, so I talk back. I ain't never been like, oh, scared, like in the corner. I'm not gonna make it seem like I was that type of, victim, but I was, if he would say like one day we were talking, and I'm like I think my little cousin had passed away, and it was my birthday weekend, and she was like 4 or 5, and I had just had my daughter, and I was like, well, I'm gonna take I'm gonna take my daughter with me to Virginia so that my family can see her. And then we go to the funeral at the same time, and he was like, you're not taking my daughter now? And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm like, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Why not? We're driving down. I'm going to take her with me. And he was like, you're not taking my daughter? I was like, yes, I am. And he just bloop. And I'm like, bitch, like, like fussing. But I'm like, but my nose started bleeding. I'm like, yo, it's like, you don't realize like that's not normal because you're in it.
Yeah.
I don't think I really talk about that much either, as much. I don't think I even talk about tell my daughter too much about it. But yeah.
When did you say enough is enough and I'm out of here? Like, was it the last hit? Or was it just you just woke up one day and said, I just got to do better for myself?
Actually, so once my daughter was born, I took my daughter and I like left or whatever. He ended up getting my daughter and like keeping her as like he ended up going to my mom's house and taking her when I wasn't there, or my sister's house, and using her as like a bargaining chip if I tell people all the time, women, you have to have custody of your child because you can carry the baby for 9 months and it comes out of your vajayjay, and the father can take it right out your vagina and go away with it. There's nothing you can do legally because he's the father, which is insane to me, and I didn't know that. So he used that for me to come back. But I'm like, yo, you put your hands on me again, like I'll never. So he did stop after that. He stopped physically putting his hands on me. But the verbal abuse was still there and the controllingness. I think what happened, I found out that he had slept with someone in my car or something. It was something crazy. And I remember I had just got a car or something. But it was just that time. I was like, listen, I was working at Neiman Marcus at the time. I was working at Neiman Marcus. And I used to always see this girl come in. She was a fly chick. I think she was married to a lawyer, beautiful woman. She used to come in her True Religion jeans on and her Chanel bag. Well, back then she had a little Celine bag and her Chanel's. And I was like, damn, I'm gonna be like this when I grow up. Like, just like, she just was beautiful and happy. And I was at work crying one day, and my friend to this day, she was like, she say, Tammy, what are you crying for? And I'm like, I think I was hiding. I think he hit me or something that day too. And I'm like, and she was like, let me get this right. I'm like, I was just telling about my, my issues or whatever. And she was like, let me get this right. You pretty as hell. She's like, you bad as a motherfucker. She was like, he broke and he beat your ass. She said, bitch, pick a struggle. And I was like, you're right. And I was just giving like, nah. And then I was giving, baby, you can have this sad, poor ass life. I'm out of here. Yeah, and that's when I decided, like, yeah, I went out crazy. I went out one night and met a guy. This is so funny. I never talked about this on camera. I met a guy, and we were, he kept sending bottles of, back in the day, they send bottles of rosé over, that was the thing. And he was like, I want to take you out, whatever. And I was like, well, he like take you shopping, back in the day, I'll take you shopping. So I was like, okay, we can meet at Tyson's Corner or whatever. So we went, he like, okay, well, I'm like, I'll drive and I'll just meet you. So he like, let's get something to eat first. So we got something to eat. And he was like, mind you, I think I was working at Neiman's, like I said, I had like a little BMW 3 Series. I didn't have much, whatever. And whatever little money I was making, I was paycheck to paycheck. And he was like, I'm gonna give you like, what do you, he like, let's go shopping, and I said, let me be honest with you. I was like, I got bags, I got shoes. I said, I don't need that. I need to get the fuck away from my husband. I was like, if you can help me with that, we good. he dropped $10,000. He was like, go do what you need to do. And I was so scared when he gave the money. I'm like, oh no, I'm like, I don't sleep for niggas with money. Like I don't do that. I don't sleep for money. He was like, no, he like, I know you. He like, I can tell. He like, you're honest. He like, I can tell. He like, most girls would have just went shopping and took it back. I said, listen, I ain't got time for that, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, he helped me like get rid of, I didn't even know that he owned a car lot at the time. So of course my daughter's father tried to come and take the car away from me. He called me one day and was like, where you at? And I'm like, I can't. My daughter father took the car. You know, he know I got to get to work. He know I got to take my daughter to school. But it was his way of trying to control me. And he was like, get somebody to drop you off at this location. Whole time he owned the car lot, so he got me a newer version of the car that I had. So, you know, like God looked out. You know, he sent people to look out.
Guardian angel for you.
Yes, yeah, so.
So when you decided to officially leave the situation, when did you say to yourself, like, okay, I'm gonna stick to this? And how was that co-parenting life with him after that?
So I left. I moved in my own place. I tried to keep it as far away from him as possible. But then he started, like, you know, following me. He followed me to my house one day, in front of me, which was a control mechanism.
Yes.
Because as soon as I called the police, he was giving, don't tell the police what I just did. Just tell them. So I lied for him, like, oh, he cut himself. They were like, how? And I'm like, you know, he made a mistake, and I said some shit. But I knew that was control. You get what I'm saying? Because you're crazy, but you're not that crazy. You don't want me to tell them what you really did because you know your ass is going to the crazy house. But it was all the way to control. He pulled the gun one day. It was like, oh, my myself. You know, just things to try to control you. Once I got out of that, now I'm not gonna lie, my relationship, like after that, I was more so like, F niggas get money. You know, I'm not, listen, conversation costs. I don't got time for no BS. I got a kid to raise. I got bills. I ain't got time for no man and no bullshit. Like if you ain't talking about no money, we ain't got nothing to talk about. That was literally my mindset. Like I'll get them before they try to get me. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. Yes, absolutely.
So once I got out of that, I'm like, I'm not gonna be struggling with a person, get my ass whipped struggling. Like I don't have time for that. So once I realized, like, okay, he's just a control freak. I kind of like never looked back. I went straight full throttle. Like, you know, anybody who wanted a conversation was giving, I have a bill. Like, this is due. Like, you just knew what type of, and I wasn't being like, it was gold digging, but I wasn't on no like, my mindset wasn't like, oh, it was my defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It was my way of protecting myself. Like, because my whole mindset was giving, all you want to do is sleep with me. And while you're trying to sleep with me, I'm going to be digging in your pockets. That was my mindset. Like, get him before he gets you.
To set myself up for a better situation.
Yes, because I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but after a while, once I realized, like I had a really good friend of mine, God rest his soul. We were dating. Well, we weren't really dating, but he was like a good friend of mine. But he liked me, and he was good company, you know. But I knew that we would never be that. And he used to give me money all the time, and you know, like pull up on me, da-da-da. And I was like, all right. Then one day I was calling him, like, why he not answering the phone? I'm like, what's going on? I'm thinking he got locked up or something. And he finally answered the phone probably like a month later. And I'm like, yo, where you been? And he was like, man, I ain't had no money to give you. Like, he was like, I won't even answer.
Compensation calls with you, babe.
He was like, I ain't got no money. And I'm like, and I realized, like, damn, I'm like that. So I was like, nah, man. I'm like, you my homie. Like, you look out for me so much. I'm like, you good people. Like, it ain't about money with you. Like, we're good friends. So I realized, like, damn, I can't be that hard up here. Like, Jesus. But that kind of made me, like, slow down with, like, being so, you know, like just, that wasn't really my personality, but it was a way for me to defend myself. Like, I was struggling with a nigga in every way a possible way. And I'm not gonna struggle financially, emotionally, physically, and then, so.
Yeah. What is your relationship like now with Charlie's dad?
There is no relationship whatsoever. My daughter, who is so, emotionally intelligent. Like, she's just, she teaches me so much every day. So there came a point where he took me to court for years to try to get full custody of her, which I knew it was just to hurt me because it was a way to get back at me. The last time we went to court, they ordered him to pay child support and all this stuff I never even asked for, but they was giving, oh, since you want to be doing this, you have to pay for this, and third. I had to send her there. We shared holidays and things of that sort, but he started to become emotionally abusive to her. Not physically, but emotionally. Oh, you can't, my daughter had dyslexia when she was younger and ADHD. Oh, you read on the first grade level, you can't read, da-da-da-da. So that was like messing with her confidence. Oh, look at you, you don't have no edges, you're bald-headed. Like, would say things like that to her. Like, and I'm like, you don't tell no little black girl that she don't have edges. So like for a long time, like I had to put my daughter in counseling. Like it became to the point where he even went as far one day and told her, little girls, as they grow older, I always say the older they get, the shorter the crop top get. They try a hand. So it goes from like, she was 12, so she wanted to try to wear a crop top. And all you do is check them like, hey, look, come on, go get another shirt. It's what teenage girls do.
Right.
He told her one day, oh, you look at you trying to dress like a thought like your mom. And if you keep dressing like that, someone do like they mom when she was younger. And it might be, and then he was like, and it might be Waka. And my daughter was devastated. And she came home because her and Waka was like this. And she came home and they're like, why would my dad say that about my dad? Like, why would he say that about Waka? And I'm like, because he's miserable. Like, he was miserable. And after, I was like, listen, I'm not going to send I wrote the courthouse. I said, you guys can throw me under the jail. I'm like, you can even hold me in contempt. I said, but I refuse to keep sending my daughter to be abused because in the courthouse, to be emotionally abused because during the court system, if you don't have marks on you, they don't consider it abuse. I think as she got older and she started to vocalize the things that was going on, he stopped wanting to deal with her. So she hasn't spoken to him, like no interaction until I think about last year. She said, I'm going to reach out to my dad. She said to me, and I was giving for what? Like, I'm like, and she was like, no, I'm going to reach out to him. She was like, because honestly, Ma, I think he's embarrassed. She said, I think he's embarrassed from the way that he treated me and the way that he, she's like, so I'm going to be the bigger person and reach out to him. And she reached out to him and she wrote him a little paragraph and there was no accountability. The first thing he said was he deflected everything. And she was like, wow, and I'm like, well, you tried. I was saying that was very mature of you because, baby, I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. And, but she still, and thank God she still has, like, Waka. Like, that's her, he's always been a safe space for her. So even when we would have to send her to Baltimore during those times, like for the summer and certain holidays, when she would come home, it was like she would just like drop her bags and be like, whew, like, thank you, like, I'm home, like when her sperm donor would say, oh, look at you, you can't read, or look at your edges and da-da-da-da-da. Waka would be like, oh, Charlie, you're so beautiful, look at you, you're this, you're that. So, like, she had that balance,
Which is good.
Yeah.
How did you meet Waka?
Oh, Lord. Miami. It was my first spring break. Yep, it was in Miami.
And he just, came up to you? Was at the club? You got to live?
Yeah, so we were, actually, it was one of them clubs. I can't remember what it was. But my best friend since third grade was like a huge fan of his. And when I remember coming from the airport and the music was playing and she was dating this older white guy. And my best friend is so funny because she's chocolate, skinny little thing, very, very hood. And she's with this older white guy who adored her. But it was so funny. So he picked us up from the airport and he was like, Danielle, Waka Flocker's here. And so she was like, oh, yeah, we got to go see him. And I'm like, I don't want to go see no damn Waka Flocka. I'm like, I want to go, like, to the classy club. Like, I want to go, like, go somewhere nice because I already knew it was going to be hood wherever we went. So we ended up doing what I wanted to do. And as we were getting into the club, he was coming out of the club that I wanted to go to. And I was like, well, at least you get to see him. And she was like, damn. So we end up going to the club, we come out, and we're walking down. This is back in the day when you would be going to like the what is it called, Wet Willies?
Yeah, Wet Willies.
Yeah, you on Ocean Drive.
Ocean Drive, girl. Yes,
it was one of those vibes.
Absolutely.
So we're walking down, and then as I'm just walking, someone just grabbed my hand, and I looked up, and it was him. And then my best friend, she was like, I knew he liked light-skinned bitches. And I was like, yo, you're crazy. She was crazy.
You got your man, girl, so you know.
Yeah. It was so funny. And he just followed me throughout the whole Ocean Drive. Like, literally, he's following me, and it was like a whole group of people following him. And he was like, I'm going where you going. I'm like, you're not going where I'm going. And then some girls start throwing stuff at us. They was pissed. It was a whole situation.
All the girls wanted him, girl.
I don't know. I was like, y'all can have his ass. He kept saying, this is my girlfriend. I'm like, no, I'm not. You about to get me beat up out here. Like, I'm not trying to get jumped in Miami. The fuck? But that's it, literally. And then it was like, from there, like, we never stopped talking.
So he pursued you.
Oh, yeah, very much so, yeah. Yes.
Were you, like, nervous because, like, he's a rapper and...
No, because I've always, like, even in Baltimore, we go to D.C., I've always had, like, you know, entertainers try to talk to me, you know, so that was not, I think I was more taken back from, like, that weekend we hung out, and then, like, he like, can you come to the studio? And we met him at the studio, and he, like, came out the booth, and he was like, you're gonna be my wife. And I was like, nigga, I'm like, this nigga's high. He's on something. And he was like, no, I'm serious. You're gonna be my wife. Watch. You're gonna be my wife. And he was just so, it's like he just was so adamant. He was just like, I don't know what it is about you, but your spirit, like you just a good person. Like and I'm like, you know, and literally it was just that. The whole, you know, the whole way through was that. So like, yeah.
And at the time, were you still in Baltimore? I
was still in Baltimore. So I had to fly back home, and he was like, come with me to my next, the next
tour stop.
Yeah, and I was like, no, I was like, I got a life. I'm like, I got a kid at home, I got a job, nigga, I got bills, like, and so he was like, okay, all right, okay, and then next thing you know, he was pulling up his tour bus into my apartment complex.
Tammy, wait, so the tour bus pulls up in a residential street.
A residential I live in a little 2-bedroom apartment. And cops were
like, bitch, what?
They were giving like, what is going on? I thought he was bluffing, like, and he pulled up on, pulled up in my apartment complex, a whole tour bus. Yeah. Like, we were talking on the phone every day, and he's like, I'm about to come out there, I'm gonna make a stop. And then he like, I thought he was like gonna fly in or something, but I guess on the way from wherever he was coming, he told them to pull the tour bus in, and they pulled the tour bus in, I'm talking about in a apartment complex. Yes. Yeah.
Is that when you knew, like, I love this man?
I was like, he's crazy. I just thought he was crazy. I was like, he is crazy.
I love it. Baby, when a man wants you, but one thing I always tell my girls.
Yes.
When a man wants you.
Oh, they will pursue you.
Not only will they pursue you.
They're going to make time.
And not only will they make time, they're going to show you in an elaborate way. I always tell them that. When a man wants to, like, get in your drawers and all that stuff, he'll pursue you and do whatever, but it's always like this big display.
To show you, like, no,
I'm dead ass.
I'm dead serious about you. Yeah, I always tell my friends that, too. I'm like, I hate when people are like, oh, he's just busy. Like, he's not that motherfucking busy.
No one's that busy.
Yeah, never.
Girls, no one's that busy.
Exactly. No one. They don't make time for what they want to make time for.
Yes.
Yeah, but no, yeah, he was definitely, he was very down to earth, too, so I love that. Yeah, and it was just, and then, you know, probably like 6 months into us talking, he was like, I need you to move to Atlanta because I don't want to lose you or whatever. And I was like, well, let me check it out first before I send for my daughter. So I would go during the weekday and come back home on the weekends when my daughter was out of school for like a good month until the end of school year. Because I wanted to make sure, like, before I moved here, I wanted to make sure my daughter had a room set up, like she was good. And I think he also respected that. Like, you always put your daughter first.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So then I ended up moving to Atlanta. Here we go, child.
No, look, I'm going to tell you this. I love that because when a man finds a good thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I always feel like he will do whatever it takes and move heaven and earth to make it happen. So the fact that, listen, y'all talking for 6 months, he moves you and your daughter to Atlanta, obviously showed that he was serious about it. When you met his mother, honey, the iconic Miss Deb Antony.
Yes.
Honey, Were you intimidated? Did she like you instantly? Was she like, this one don't like hoes, the industry hoes? Because, you know.
She liked me in the beginning. And then I think Deb is so strong-headed and so am I. And see, I was always self-efficient. Like, so I think with the girl that he was dating before me, she was a college girl and she used to be up on the Deb. Deb took care of all the bills and all those things. But when I came in, I was like, listen, I don't need your mom paying the bills. Like, I can pay the bills here. Or, you know, I had my own place. I had a kid. So my, and there's certain things I wasn't going for. So my presence as a woman was different. And I think after a while she was giving, oh, I like her. But then after a while I was giving, oh, who the fuck does she think she is coming in here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is my thing, whatever. So there was a time where we bumped heads and we didn't talk for probably like 3 years.
What?
Yeah, about 2 or 3 years, yeah. And but what I did always respect about her, we didn't talk. I didn't go to her house. We literally lived a few houses away from each other. I wouldn't go to her house. She didn't come to mine. And my daughter, she would literally come out. I respect that she would come outside, and I would get Charlie dressed. And like if she was taking the girls out, and I was send Charlie, she still treated my baby good.
Mm-hmm.
So we wouldn't talk, and I would like literally drop Charlie off and be giving by, and she would drop her back off. Like so that I always respect her for that because she didn't never mistreat my baby.
Yeah.
So that I respect. But then eventually, like I think right before I did Love and Hip Hop, we sat down because somebody came to us again about it, and I was like, well, I'm not gonna go on the show unless me and your mom hash out whatever it is we have going on. So off camera, we spoke about it, and we cleared up some things, and yeah, and to this day we cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years. Was Waka like? Because obviously that's his mama.
Yeah.
You his wifey. So like.
He was like, I could tell it bothered him. He tried to act like he didn't, but I could tell it did after a while. Because I mean, I would literally Christmas. I would go shopping for everybody. I would still buy her a gift and wrap it up for him, put her names on it. Like I would buy, like I would buy my mom stuff. I would still buy his mom stuff because, I would wrap it up and I would like give it to him and like, go take this to your mother. And like, because I knew he couldn't do it. So I would do, if I'm shopping for my family, I'm going to shop for your family because it's my family too. We're together. So yeah, and I would just, drop it to him and we would drive to the house and I would stay in the car and he would take the gifts in and yeah.
and the thing is this, you may know this now, but I'll just tell you anyway. The thing with mothers, especially mothers who may have one son or a couple, but it's the oldest, because the mother feels like,
that's my child, taking your
that's
son.
my baby.
Yeah.
Regardless if the man is 40.
Yeah.
You know that there's, it's a mother's love. And my mother went through that with my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Because my father was a mama's boy.
Right.
And my mother came in as sweet as could be, cute woman.
Genuine,
a Leo. Like,
oh, she's a Leo like me.
Yeah, so that's why, no, I'm telling you, I felt it. And my grandmother was just like.
I think when they know that the man really loves her and she has an influence, it's giving, oh, this one has an influence on my baby. Hold up. It comes with a little intimidation.
A little?
Yeah.
A lot of intimidation. Yeah. Because the thing is this, when you are a pretty woman, entering into, this man's life, his mother does size you up like, is she with for the right reasons, which is fine.
Right.
But what the world doesn't know is this, Tammy. The gag is when the woman is gorgeous, but she's about her business.
Yeah.
And she knows how to take this man's life and turn around for the better.
Down, yes.
And the mama feels like I have no place anymore.
I have no place.
I have no place anymore. Yep. And she's looking at you like, bitch.
Right, like who you think you are? Like seriously.
This cute little bitch, go get up here.
Right.
And the fact that, to your credit, like my mother, never once disrespected her, called her out her name, nothing, but kept the distance.
Yeah.
It was like, that's your mama.
I'm gonna respect her.
My kids gonna see their grandmama.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that you did all that because you knew that it just wasn't. I want you to know, y'all good now, but I think it's funny because I think my audience can learn from this. It's never about you. It's the mother watching her son become another woman's
man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It's like another woman's taking their baby away type of vibe. It is, and that's pretty much what it was. Like now, like I said, we're cool. Like I just bought a house 12 minutes from her, which is crazy. But yeah, like we talk and to this day, and even then, like when I was still married to her son, she would be like, I know I ain't got to worry about you. Now I got to worry about my other two sons. And, you know, like, she was like, I ain't got to worry about you. She always know, like, I've always, like, I always had his best interest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even when we weren't together, I never spoke ill about him. I never will, because he's a great dad, you know.
Yeah, and he's selling Charlie's life, which I think is just,
listen,
amazing.
that is his child. You hear me? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
She don't play about her daddy either. She'll be giving, I'm going to call my dad. I'm going to call him. I'm getting down.
At 20.
Yeah. I was talking shit about him the other day because it was a picture. So I was like, I'm like, just talking shit. Like, his outfit looks terrible. He did it. She was like, keep it cute with my dad. I'm like,
I love that. It says a lot about him and his character. So what's funny is when you brought up Love and Hip Hop, I did seasons 1 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And Tammy, when I say to you, your name came up constantly.
Really?
We want to use season 1, season 2. I had to leave to do Atlanta Housewives again, but your name was brought up. Miss Deb Anthony, hey Miss Deb, she came on season 1 to critique Rashida's music.
Right.
We would take Deb out to dinner because obviously at the time she was managing Waka. And we're like, and she would always say, that girl ain't doing it. She's not gonna do it. She's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
And then we were like, and what's funny is, it was sort of like, we kind of want her more because she doesn't want to do it.
Yeah.
And that's something special. Like, she's not thirsty.
Yeah.
She lives a good life, but we just always thought there was something fascinating about y'all relationship. What made you finally say yes to Love and Hip Hop?
I was I was doing styling during that time. And I was doing a lot of Waka's videos, and he didn't want me to do nobody else's videos. So I'm like, I can't progress like this. I only could do your videos. And I was trying to find my foothold. Like, I was so used to, even though I was always used to working, I was always used to, I was working since I was 14. I was always I'm from Baltimore. I was always a go-getter. Like, I'm going to get some money. Like, I don't want to just be a housewife. Like, I have dreams and aspirations too. He'd be like, just chill out. I got it. And I'm like, yeah. But then I found myself being in his business. Now I'm worried about who he talked to, what he got going on there. I'm like, I got to find some business with myself. I think it's a lot of time with women, we get lost in their world because we're bored and we don't have anything for ourselves. So me and Deb finally had a conversation. And she was like, I think you should do it. She's like, I think you should really do it or whatever. And I'm like, which I think the first season, I think it was more so her not knowing me well enough. Because I heard about it, but I didn't know you guys was constantly asking. So I think Deb kept that to herself, giving like, I don't trust this bitch. She not about to get famous off my son. You know what I'm saying? I respect.
I can see that.
So, yeah, with that being said, so I'm like, okay, well, when it came back around, and I'm like, listen, I'll do it. I'm like, but I don't want to be no drama. I'm not trying to, like, that's not what I don't want that, for myself. Like, that's not what I'm not into that. And I was just like, you know what? I have to use this platform. And I remember my ex saying, use my platform to create your own. And I was like, okay. So, that was always the goal. And I always wanted to bring something to the table. I didn't never just want to be a housewife. Like, I wanted to bring something to the table too. Like, I didn't want to I felt like I wasn't doing my full potential. Reason why when I did Love and Hip Hop, no one even knew I could sing until the last season of me exiting.
Yeah.
Because I never wanted one to be like, oh, she's doing this to be, to be a singer. She had a motive the whole time. Like, for a long time, he didn't even know I could sing, nor Deb, until probably maybe 3 years into our relationship. So I just was like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna step out on faith and just go ahead and do it or whatever. So that's pretty much what it was. I was just like, okay, I felt more confident in our relationship and then me and Deb's relationship, because I was not going on TV arguing with my boyfriend at the time, mother. Like, I was raised better than that. So I was like, ain't no way in hell. And when they asked the first season, me and her wasn't really cool like that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That makes sense. What we saw in the show was like, you were a fan favorite. People just loved you because you were like, again, the girl next door. You're like the girls, and you're a girl's girl at that. And we saw the relationship between you and Waka. When you were doing Love and Hip Hop, did you feel like that had a negative or positive impact on your relationship with him?
I feel like both. I feel like the positive side of it was I was able to show him, like, I told you, like, I'm more than just a housewife. Like, I can create businesses. I can bring money to the table. Like, I'm a force to be reckoned with my damn self.
Amen.
Like, let me show you what I can do. On the flip side, I felt like, it exposed anything that he was doing. Like, is flat. Like, I'm talking about, he couldn't even get a pizza delivered without somebody telling me, girl, I see somebody in the studio, I delivered some pizza. Like, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like, it's a different when people doing stuff in private, but when everything you do is publicized now, it makes the relationship hard or strained, So, couldn't cheat in peace no more.
Right.
Period.
That too.
But even still, like, I think throughout Love and Hip Hop and all the other shows that we done, we had such a good friendship. So a lot of people couldn't really understand, like, oh, she go back to him. We were such friends. Like, that was like my homie. Like, we kick shit like all the time. Like, that was my friend. So even when the relationship, like, of course I'm human, so I hurt and things of that sort, but he was also used to a repertoire. He was used to a lifestyle before me. So when we got together, it's like he was fighting his own demons of, like, I want to be this because this is I want to be a family man. I got a good woman. I got, Charlie and this going on. But I'm still out here in these streets. You get what I'm saying?
I do.
So it's like, and a lot of people, it's not making excuses for him, but he was young and he was trying to figure it out too. And I'm young and I'm trying to figure it out too at the same time. But I think that with that being said, all those years of us going through ups and downs together, once I knew who I was as a woman and he got who he was as a man and where he wanted to be, I think that the strain of a relationship kind of like, it was already strained,
Yeah, and the thing about you guys, you've been very open about the infidelity really impacting your marriage to him. When did you first find out that he was cheating on you? Was it before you guys got married or after y'all were married?
It was before. It was definitely before. I remember, it's so funny. I wonder if you remember this. I had just moved down, and you could have bought me for a nickel. I went through this man's phone one day, and you couldn't tell me that was the man that I like. I knew because it was like a whole different side. And so like I said, we always had a good friendship. So I was like, listen, I'm like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I'm like, I just moved down here with my daughter. I'm like, if this is what you want to do, then that's cool. I said, we could be friends. We could still kick shit how we kick shit. I can get my own place. I'm like, but we can still see each other. I'm like, but we don't have to do this. And the nigga sat there and thought about it for a second. He was like, and I'm like, because I'm like, I was being straight up. Like, and he looked at me, he like, nah, hell no, I want this. Like, I don't want that. I want this. And I'm like, you sure? Because I was hurt, but I was still like, okay, this is new, but we kick it how we kick it. We don't have to, you ain't got to answer to me.
Yeah.
We could just be cool. I can get my own place. We can still sleep with each other when we want to. We can still hang out with each other. We can still, but we don't have to pretend. We ain't got to do this.
That we're in an exclusive, committed, monogamous relationship, but we live together.
We could just be dating. You know what I'm saying? You got people that you can go outside.
Which is fair.
Right.
But you know why he said no, right?
Because he didn't want me with no one.
Okay, girl. Let him know, bitch. Okay. There
so
you go.
I'm like, so.
That's why he thought about it. He said, look.
He thought like, damn, it's a good deal.
It's a good deal. Oh, but that means another man can have you. Nope.
Changed my mind. I'm like, this nigga really, I said, this nigga really thinking about it. But yeah, so, but yeah, that was like, child, I got stories for days with that. But, it's growth. Like, I'm like, I wouldn't change anything. Because even now, I get so many DMs from women like, I followed your journey. Like, you were so transparent. And like, just to see the woman you are today, it's like, it's refreshing. Like, like, me and him are really good friends. Like, I just had to put my dog down, who we got together. That, I had this dog for like almost 12 years. And I had to text him. I'm like, yo, I got to put Angel down. And he texted me. He called me like, yo, T, like, were you good? Like, we talk. We're good friends. We did the signing. He just bought my daughter a condo. And my boyfriend, he was with me, and, they talk, and we sat down, we have a good rapport. And it's so much respect there. And that was more so, that was the whole point of us, me leaving the relationship sooner. Like, I knew that I was losing respect for him. And I'm like, I'd rather lose, and people were like, oh, that sounds dumb, but for me, it was true, because we always had such a good friendship. I'm like, I'd rather lose my husband at this time than to lose my friend. I don't want to, I have so much respect. I don't want to lose respect for him. After a while, when you go through so much stuff, you lose respect for a person. I didn't want that to be us. So I gracefully bowed out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what? I love you. I'm not in love with you no more. And I was honest. I'm like, I don't want to be cheating. I don't want to cheat on you. I don't want to, I'd rather just leave. I don't want to become a person that I'm not.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Was the final straw for you just like the cheating thing? Was that just it?
No, it actually wasn't. That was like, it got to a point where that stopped.
Okay.
It got to a point where he grew up, and that wasn't the issue anymore. It was other little issues that we had within our marriage. But little inconsistencies that I would complain about over the years. But I think the marriage was so strained from past stuff. You have to heal. I wasn't healed. I was I found myself being like, ugh, don't touch me. Like, leave me alone, because I lost the respect. Because it's like, once you go through so much stuff, the more and more you go through, it's like a scar each time, and you become a different person.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I was that person. And then, now when I look back sometimes at certain things, I'm like, damn, I was a mean. And he was accepting them, me. It wasn't accepting, because we would get into it, but he was like, a part of him was giving damn, I deserve that. I done did so much shit. I see why she talked to me like that. I see why she, you get what I'm saying? And he didn't deserve that either. And because at the same time, I chose to stay. So I chose to stay, and the outcome of me staying changed me. So now when he's changed for the better, I'm a bitch. It's not fair.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And regardless, people always like, well, he the reason, it's his fault. He the reason why you was like that. Yeah, you can say that, but I also stayed. You know what I'm saying? So I have to take accountability too. I'm not making excuses for him, but we was together in our 20s. We was together for 10 years. We grew a lot and learned a lot. And he grew, I always say, whoever he gets with the next, she's gonna have a good man. I put in the footwork, damn it. But no, he's a great man. He's a great father. He's a great man. We just, our course had ran. God put, it was, we met each other for a reason and a season, and, we will always be family. But, that's just what that is,
You are very mature. Is this like a healed Leo?
I think so.
You know what I'm saying? That's because you know this, being in this industry, being in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's rare when a marriage dissolves.
Yeah.
And you can sit back and be like, look, it's easy for me to say he did X, Y, Z, and I had to leave. I love the fact that you're like, look, we had a great friendship.
Right.
We were young. We tried.
Over and over.
It didn't work out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't negate. And obviously, a lot of people's situation is different.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that you can recognize that this man is still a good person.
He's a great person.
And another woman is going to attain a great man. He's just not the great man for me, for who I am at this stage of my life. And I get that.
Yeah, and it's not taken away. I don't want people oh, she gave up on him, assume he didn't. No, it wasn't that. I say, you get to, I wouldn't be doing him any justice. You understand what I'm saying? And he wouldn't be doing me any. At this point, it's I healed. I had to heal away. I didn't realize that. I thought I forgave, but I didn't realize that I was still resenting him for things. It could be something simple. We could be just driving, and he oh, that restaurant there. I'm like, oh, yes, the restaurant you had the bitch at. It's giving girl, that was 6 years ago. Why are you there? I just had a flashback, damn it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's you don't realize that you're still harboring these things. It's even from childhood trauma. I had to realize a lot of the things from my childhood, I'm just starting to process now. And that's true. Like, as you get older, you realize a lot of things. And I don't regret I wouldn't do anything differently. I wouldn't do anything differently. When our divorce was finalized, he texted me. He said, "Thank you for 10 amazing years of marriage, and I appreciate for all things." And I said, "Thank you as well for all the things that you show me, everything that you taught me, and vice versa." Like, we literally was like, thanked each other for our time that we did have together. That's like where we are, in our spaces now. Yeah.
That's beautiful. No, congrats, and it's mature, and unfortunately it's rare. But again, I understand that a lot of circumstances aren't as clean as this one is. But I love the fact that you two were able to maturely say, "Look, we love each other. We had love. It didn't work out. Let's at least be the best people." And then when it comes to Charlie, like, let's still have this relationship. When it comes to her, you have moved on. You have a new boo.
Yes.
Talk to me about that, honey, because do you feel like you found the one?
Yes, this is definitely like, he is amazing. Like, he is like he's the end for me. That's it. That's it. Yes. He's, I didn't ever think that, like, I know God sent him to me. He's like, oh my God, he's just a great person. Like, he's genuinely an amazing person, an amazing man, like a godly man. Like, and when I say godly, he do not play about the Lord. Like, and it was so crazy and refreshing to me when I first met him. Actually, we used to clash when we first met about the Bible, because he's like, "I'm a Christian man." And I'm like, "Well, I don't call myself a Christian, but I believe in Jesus. I just don't like categorizing myself as anything." And he's like, "No, I'm a Christian man." Like, and we would talk about the Bible. I'm like, "Well, I don't agree with that." He was like, "But let me bring it back here." Like, "Let's get the Bibles out." Like, we would literally debate about the Bible. And he's 35, I'm 39. But he don't play about his word. And it was refreshing to me because he didn't back down, and he didn't feel like, "Oh, I don't want to push too much." It was like, this is who I am. Like, this is what I stand on. Like, when it comes to my God and it comes to my principles as a man, these are the two things I won't budge on. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with those.
How'd y'all meet?
Child, at the club.
I know that's right, baby. Hey.
At the club. And then we went to the strip club together. Like, it was crazy.
So he saw you, was like...
No, we met through a friend who had a friend. My assistant/friend was dating his friend, and they were like, we're gonna go. We were at the bar, and she was like, they want to go to a strip club. Do you want to go? And I was like, I mean, cool. So she was like telling her friend, like, well, he needs to come in and introduce himself to her first. So he came in, he introduced himself, and then we ended up going to the strip club. And he was like, it was like an L-shaped section, and he was like on the far end, and I'm on this far end. Next thing you know, he was like sitting right next to me. It's funny because we had like a little private section, and he was like, I think in Magic City, like when you get like a private room, you have to throw $10,000 or more. And my sister was like, "Tammy, talk to him." And I'm like, "Girl, I'm not talking to him." She was like, "Bitch, I'm trying to take some money. Talk to him." So she's she's stuffing the ones in her boots, and she's like, "Keep him distracted." And I'm like, yo. So now I'm on a dummy mission, like, well, yeah. You take the girls out the hood, but not the hood out the girls.
Baby, period.
But yeah, so we just, we just were talking, and we were all twisted, but he got really drunk. And I could see that his friend he was drunk. And I was like, I saw that we were throwing so much money. So I'm like, yo, make sure, I was telling my assistant, like, yo, let's make sure he good. Because he just threw a lot of money. I don't want nobody to try to track him or whatever. So I was like giving him water. And I'm like, just make sure you're good. Like, just make sure you sober up or whatever. And then he was like, he's like, what's up with us? And I was like, nothing. And he was like, no, for real. Like, and I'm like, no, for real. And he just kept pursuing. And one day we hung out, and it was just like, his spirit was just, it was different. It was really different. So I always tell people, I'm like, there is not enough money in the world that can make me leave this man. I could find a richer man, but I could not find the morals and rich in spirit as I have now. Like, it's nothing that I would replace him with at all. Like, he's amazing.
I was talking to my girls recently because, I'm in my 40s, a lot of my friends are, and we were just talking about, like, them being single women, gorgeous girls, but had a lot of experience dating, the rich men, all this other stuff. And they're still single. And I said to them, like, I think in your 20s, even early 30s, it's cute to date the wealthy guy, the rich guy, and the shopping sprees and all that. And I said, but baby, you get older and you realize none of that shit matters because you wake up one day, Tammy, and you have nothing to show for it. Yes, you may have the bags in the closet on display, but when you want somebody that can feed your soul.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a difference for sure.
So talk to me about that, like.
So even with him, it's so funny because he's an aerospace engineer by degree. He's owned multiple grows, like medical marijuana grows. He doesn't have them anymore since he moved to Georgia. But money was never, he can provide the things that I need and want, for sure. So he has, the money is there. He's, like I said, he's might not buy me a yacht and a private plane, or, you know what I'm saying? But he can buy me a house and he can buy me a car, or whatever it is that I can provide for myself, he can provide as well. But it's not like even just that, it's like he calms me. Like he's such a calm, he's taught me like so much. I'm a firecracker. I'm up north. I could be very, his mom called me, she's like, you're a Yankee. I can be, because they're from Texas. So I could be very like, my mouth can be crazy. And he'll just sit back and he'll just like, baby, I don't talk to you like that. Why do you talk to me like that? And instead of me getting like, it makes you feel stupid. You be like, damn, why am I talking to him like that? He was like, I would never disrespect you and talk to you that way. Why are you talking to me that way? And it's like, it just puts your defenses down, Like,
I love that.
Yeah, it just puts your defenses down. Or we'll be arguing about something and he'll just get quiet. I'm like, you hear me talking to you? He'll be like, woman, I'm praying. I'm praying. Literally, he'll be like, I'm praying. And I'm like, what are you gonna say to that? Stop praying? We were like, okay. like he's that, or we'll be getting, and I'll get stressed out. He'll be like, baby, come here, give me your hand. Let's pray about it. Like he's that type. Like he literally, just yesterday, I was like going crazy. Somebody was stressing me out. He said, come here, bring it in. He's like, give me your hand. And I don't feel like praying, but like I'm not, even when I'm angry and he grabbed my hand, I can't say no to the Lord. So it's like, he'll like grab my hand, like, come on, baby, let's pray about it. And I have to humble myself and be like, you know what? Okay, let me pray about it. Like I can't carry anger into prayer. So like, this is the type of like man that I was with. Like, it's so funny. This is how innocent he is. When I first met him, right? Like I said, he had money. He was, living the fast life and things of that sort. But he always was like, yo, I know that this is like, he knew that wasn't what he wanted. Cause he's like, I always wanted a wife. I want kids. I want marriage. I want a godly household. But it was so funny because he didn't know who I was. He never knew who I was. He's not a TV type of guy. He's really like a little street nerd. Like he's, down. You wouldn't know he's a nerd until you start talking to him. Like, oh, you a real scientist.
Are smart.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes.
But it's so funny because we went out to the mountains one day, and it was Mother's Day. And so he stopped. I carry my Stanley Cup with me everywhere I go. I have like a nervous breakdown without my Stanley Cup because I need cold water. So he's like, I'm gonna run inside Publix and get you a Stanley Cup. So he comes back out and he has a gift card. He I love Starbucks. So he had a $1,000 Starbucks gift card and a $50 Saks and Fifth Avenue gift card.
I know that.
And I was like, baby. And he like, ain't this a story you be talking about? And I'm like, yeah. I said, but I can't buy a pair of socks for $50 in Saks. He was like, I ain't know. I just saw them and I just told him put the most on this one and that was $50. So I just grabbed it. I said, you got them backwards. I said, but I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. It just wasn't his thing. And like the first time he gave me money, he was like, here, babe. He was like, here's $20. Just go shopping or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I went and took the money and instead of me going shopping, I went and bought him some stuff because I'm like, he was a Nike Tech Jordan. That was it. And I'm like, I bought him some stuff and I was like, you can't step out with me with this shit that you wearing. Like, we gotta get your wardrobe together. So he's like, you wanna buy stuff with the money I gave you? I'm like, yeah, I got clothes and shoes for days. I'm like, closets and closets full. You need to get your shit together. So he was like, what is CD? I'm like, Christian Dior? And it was refreshing, but it was like mind-blowing to me because I'm like, how do you have money, but this is not, that wasn't his
I love
focus. It was
that.
not his focus. So, now he's bougie as hell, child. Now he be giving, can we go to Louis? I need to get some new stuff. Like,
Yes.
he's like, now he gets it. But he didn't know, and it was funny because he went around his friends for the first time. And he was like, he came back home. He was like, when he was looking at the clothes, he was like, I don't know about this, baby. He came back with his friend. He's like, everybody was like, yo, who dressed you? Like, what's up? Like, your girl must have did that. Like, so now he's like obsessed with fashion. But that's just who he was. He was so used to taking care of people. He didn't really care about he didn't care about designers or things of that sort. That wasn't his focus.
You a good woman, girl.
Thank you.
Would you get married again?
Oh, he's determined to get married. Like, I told him, like, this will be my third marriage. So I'm like, we don't have to get married. I'm like,
Wait, you married?
Sperm donor.
Oh, okay.
I'm married sperm
So
donor.
this will be your third, and are you a little like nervous?
No, I told him, I'm like, we don't have to get married. Like, I'm like, we could just coexist together. Like, we don't have to be married. Like, to me, it's a piece of paper. Like, a union is, once we slept together, we were already joined. Like,
Period.
So, he like, no, like, it's for him, he's also going through a divorce. Mine is just finalized, his is still going. But he was like, no, you gonna be my wife. Like, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, he wants to get married more than I do. And it's like, I love to marry him. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't want to. It's just like, for me, it's like, I know that that's not the be all, say all, but for him, he's like, you are who I prayed for and who I want. And I want to do, in God's eyes, I want to do the right thing. So.
Would you ever consider having another child?
Yeah, I would. I definitely would. I mean, shit, I'm about to be 40 though. It's getting too late.
I mean, there's, girl, the way medicine and all that stuff works. Why do you think a lot of people are surprised that you and Waka never decided to have a kid together?
I don't know. I think people think I did that on purpose. I didn't. We tried to conceive. We never went as far as pursuing like in vitro or anything of that sort. But we definitely tried to conceive since we met, honestly. That was like one thing that that he always wanted. And even though we're not together now, I still want that for him as well.
Yeah.
Like, I hope that he gets a beautiful child or two, but like even though Charlie's not biologically his, I know that's his, he raised her.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, I think being a father or mother is not just, like I always say, even on Mother's Day, when I say Happy Mother's Day, I don't just say like, oh, to the people who birthed the child, because I know a lot of birthing mothers who aren't mothers. But I know a lot of women who has raised children that aren't theirs, that are amazing mothers. So I feel the same way. Like, I feel he raised that child. Like, she is so much of him as much as she is me. That little girl will smoke you under the chimney. She is her daddy's child. She has tattoos like her dad. She loves marijuana like her dad. Like, she is her dad's. I'm like, she is his, she's a hippie. She grounds herself. She loves meditation. She wants philosophy, and she wants to sit up there, and she will, she's just so much of him. Like, I can tell that he raised her as well,
Yeah. I love this story. Listen, you are such a good woman.
Thank you.
You really are. No, listen, like, just hearing your backstory and everything else, like, God is so good.
Ooh,
and
yes.
The fact that you have not allowed your childhood and your past experience to define you. And,
Right.
being a singer, releasing music, swimwear line, and all that stuff. So, like, what are some of the stuff you're working on right now?
I have so much music I have not released, and I get fussed out every day from everybody, from the people on Instagram, from my close family and friends. So prayerfully, I'll release it and just get out of my head and just let it go. But right now, I think for me, I'm so in a space of like, I want to do more. Like, I definitely want to write a book, like a life story book. I definitely that's on my to-do list. And I want to get into more real estate. There's a lot of things I want to explore. I'm kind of burnt out from the swimsuit line and the clothing line. Even though I love fashion, it's always going to be a part of my dear heart. I don't think I'll ever not be a fashion girly. But I'm just in a space now, like, I just bought a house on the lake. I want to drink my coffee and just sit out on the lake and like watch my kitty cats. I have 6 cats.
Girl, not your cat lady.
I'm a cat lady.
Yes.
I'm a fucking cat lady. And it's funny because people are like, girl, you got all them cats and you got a man. I'm like, I had 1 cat when I met him. I have the rest because of him. He loves cats. Like,
oh, wow.
So
he's your soulmate.
Yeah,
no, guys don't like that.
I know, especially black guys, right?
No, I'm like, a lot of times the girls would be like, sorry, kitty, I'm about to give you up for adoption.
No, we taking him in, child. We are taking him in. We have 6 cats.
Oh, he's a keeper.
Yeah, we have 6 cats, and he don't play by his cats.
No, girl, you keep him.
Yeah.
So you just focus on like that kind of life and stuff.
Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just happy, and like whatever God got for me, He has for me.
I want you to clear the air because you know you've been in the blogs recently. But listen, I like for you to clear it up because I never want to assume anything. Because I read and was like, let's see what y'all talking about, but I digress. Nicki Minaj recently spoke at the UN, and you left a comment under the post where you talked about, you know, the allegations of what was going on. And a lot of people thought you were attacking Nicki Minaj for speaking out. I didn't see it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw people try to interpret it that way. Since I have you here, I just want you to clear the air about,
speak on it.
You know, and just speak on what your messaging was about.
I think, especially with our culture, if a person disagrees with someone, they're attacking them. That has nothing to do with Nicki. I'm disappointed in her speech under the Trump administration about... See, my thing is, I take deep dives into things. I know that it's repertoire. It's been shown over years, it's repeated, that the U.S. creates an agenda to go in, to find ways to go in and from the beginning of time, Christopher Columbus come in. They make it seem like they're there to help, but it's not there to help. Africa, if anybody has been watching, Burkina Faso, all these African countries are taking back their economy. They're taking back their economy. They're taking back their land. They're taking back their resources. They're strengthening the African currency. And all of a sudden, when Africa is saying, you're not going to strip my resources from my country no more. You're not going to take this from us anymore. We're standing on this. Keep your European dollars. Keep your Western dollars. You come here, you spend, just like when you come to America, you have to use U.S. money. When you go to Europe, you have to use European currency. Africa said, okay, we're going to do the same thing here. They're taking back their gold mines because it's one of the richest resources in the world. You know, from oil to gold to everything else, you know, it's the motherland. Now that this is happening, we already had someone from the White House make a speech about the president of Burkina Faso being a threat. Why? Because he's strengthening his country, and he's taking back his country, and he's no longer allowing you to strip them of all their resources. So all of a sudden now, you make this agenda of, oh, they're slaughtering Christians in Nigeria, which may as well be true. You understand what I'm saying? Not just Christians, but also other religions are dying. Right now in Sudan, you have people dying by, I'm talking about thousands and thousands, I'm talking about a terrible genocide. Why aren't you ready to go and help those people? Why aren't you so quick to run and be to their rescue? And it's not about, like I said, I believe in Jesus. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And it's not about Christianity, but I see the motive there. You have to create a problem so that you could be the white savior to go in and try to, and say that you're saved. But really what you're going to go in and do, and you're going to make it, you're going to go in and make it worse. Not just those Christians going to be slaughtered. It's going to be more deaths. It's going to make it way worse than it ever was before. You understand what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden now I've been watching Africa and the growth that they're doing. All of a sudden, you want to go in there now and help save someone's life. I'm all for saving all lives, but my thing with the Nicki situation is you don't realize, you think you're helping, and it might have been right in her eyes, but she probably thought she was doing the right thing. But sometimes you have to do more research to figure out, why are they asking me to speak?
You felt they were taking advantage of her.
Absolutely. And they used her to push an agenda that for their personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
When you're really not going to be helping those people, you're going to bring them more destruction in the future. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I know that people are going to be like, oh, mind your business. I don't try to get in politics, but I'm not dumb. I'm far from dumb. And anybody who know my friends, like any friends of people that know me for a long time, I'm very much I'm that girl who goes into deep dives. Like I don't just see something and just like, oh, I'll start researching and be like, oh, okay, I see this, I see that. Like I'm not into politics, but I find my way into something because I want to know what's going on. I was thinking about before I bought my house, moving back to Africa and buying a home in Africa, and I'm still thinking about it. But it's like I just know that there's an agenda for everything. This country has killed, steal, and destroyed since the beginning of time. You understand what I'm saying? We're literally talking about deporting people who are American citizens from a country that you don't even own, that is you the real foreigners in. You understand what I'm saying? So for me, it wasn't about Nicki, and it's like, it's so sad that people can't see past that. They can't see past like, oh, it's the Nicki, like it's not about Nicki Minaj. How I feel has, whether it was her or it was Tay-Tay making the speech, I would have said the same thing and I would feel the same way. And that's why they use celebrities and the Black community, because we so quick to bandwagon and be like, oh, well, this person said it, so it must be right. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so that's just what my stance on it is. I know they're probably going to chew me up after this interview, but at the same time, I feel how I feel, you know?
No, that's why I wanted you to have the floor to address, because I know that people can take comments and blow it up without context. I wanted you to use this for context. My last thing about, just to wrap things up, you know, her fans that come out and say, well, you was with Waka, who took a picture with Trump, so did you give him that same smoke?
I have text messages where I text him now, like, you see what your boy, what's up with your boy? Like, and he's like, oh, Tammy, da-da-da-da. You know, like, I've never been one to hold my mouth. Yeah, and people are with people, and that don't mean you share the same views. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that does not mean we share the same views. When I seen I think it was not too long ago, Trump did something, and I screenshot and sent it to Waka in the DM, like, oh yeah, what's up with your people? And he giving, man, shut up. You know, like we joke, but I'll tell him like, yo, look, what's up? Like, oh, you're like, I give him smoke too. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, it goes both ways. It's just that it's not about, what do you think, he's exempt? No, if it was my mama, I'm gonna say the same thing. Hey, mom, you tripping. Like, mom, did you realize this is third? Do you understand what's going on? Let me show you what's up. Let me show you why these people are so pressed to go and try to, quote unquote, be the white savior to Africa. When did y'all was so pressed to go and be Africa's rescue? You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, oh, because there's a lot of, you see what's going on. You want to, when a nation, a big nation of Black people decide to take back their resources and decide to stand on their power, it becomes a threat. And that's what I don't think people understand. And you see this small vision, oh, Nicki said this, and it's about Christians, and this, that, and third. You take the, like I said, I believe in Jesus, baby, in the name of Jesus. I get you. I'm with you. But you take this small picture, and it's the picture behind it is so much broader and bigger. You get what I'm saying? So for me, that's how I feel. And if it was my mama, I would have told my mama how I felt.
Listen, you stand on business. I have to say, this interview really surprised me in the best way possible. Because I don't go to any interviews with preconceived notions. I always want to just open up the space just to that's why I write down questions. I just like to feel the energy. You are a phenomenal woman.
Thank you so much.
I am so proud of everything you have accrued for yourself. And I do feel like this. I think you're just getting started.
Oh, thank you.
I don't think the world has yet to see the impact that you have that's on the way.
I feel
that. I feel you're a very smart woman. You remind me a lot of Keisha Kaur.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, just a smart businesswoman who really understands what her place in the world is and what her role is when it comes to her marriage and being a mom. Yeah. You remind me of that because you're not out there.
Right.
You know, like you ain't, trying to be all in the cameras and all that shit. Like you handle your business and you're like, you're a little quiet You a sleeper hit, baby. You know,
I take
yeah.
that. 'Cause I want what God, like I say, I want what God wants for me. And every time you try to push your own agenda, everything that I've tried to do in my own name never worked out the way I wanted it to. But everything I do in God, in Jesus' name,
Amen.
it works out, you know? So for me, it's like, as I got older, I had to realize, like, it's not my timing, it's not my will, like, it's God's will. And you know, when you're young, I'm gonna do this, I got this, and it's like, and you trying to figure out why things didn't work out or why things, I've learned as I've gotten older, like, baby, it's all in God's timing,
Yes, it
and what's for
is.
you is for you, but I appreciate you letting me know that I'm just getting started because I needed to hear that.
You are. I feel it in my spirit. You
I
are.
needed to hear that.
Baby, you're just getting started.
I receive it.
At 39, baby, you got a lot on your way. So thank you for this, babe.
Thank you so much.
Good
I appreciate you.
Yay, so good. This is phenomenal.
My person fell.
Oh, sorry.